Hi there. I'm sure by now we're all overflowing with information and YouTube videos and theories and all kinds of things that are being shared. Um, we are probably a little over a month in this global pandemic, and I wanted to talk to you about what I think it's the most important part that we can contribute as a whole into humanity. We have, if you're following me, you have an alternative way of thinking. You have trusted some of the natural remedies that I post. You question the the mainstream narrative about body healing, about medicine. And based on that, I am calling also your consciousness at this time to apply the same lens that you were using before. Not just because right now we're in a global situation and the whole world is in crisis and there's a virus going on and there's so much fear and division and anger and not knowing and seeing everyone around us as a potential threat. Remember, these people that are sharing this information with us are the same people that have been recommending to us to use antidepressants, medications for sleeping, that promote all kinds of foods that are full of preservatives that damage our hormonal balance within our bodies, that disrupt the functioning of our organs. So goes together. That's why I want to make sure that we are thinking and taking everything with a grain of salt. I do not consent with a lot of things that are happening. However, it doesn't mean that I'm not respecting what has been imposed in my area in Miami. Of course I am. If I go to the store, I wear a mask. There's nowhere really that we can go. We're all, we can exercise outdoors, which is amazing. I have that possibility, and I was sharing earlier that I have a yard. I feel fortunate and very, very grateful for my current situation and my location. However, this is not what's happening to everyone. And my need to communicate and my need to share this information comes from a place of wanting for you to become your own healer, your own person that can make the decision from a very empowered place and from an instinct that we have as human beings. There is value to everything that we hear. Listen to everything, listen to every story, get your pieces and come up with what resonates with you the most. And always question the source of the information. Who is telling me this? Has this person or this news channel or this doctor, have they been following a holistic lifestyle? Have they been telling me that nutrition is directly related with the way that I feel, with my emotions, with my health? Or have they never done that? So just pay attention where the information comes from. And I will also recommend that during this time, as much as you can stay in the present, it will be the best, because we don't know what's happening. We don't know how long this is going to take. We hear different theories, we hear different comments, different government officials speaking, but we don't know. And the most important thing we can do for ourselves right now and for the collective is to be in today. What am I going to do today? Yes, I know a lot of people are out of work, out of money, kids are at home. If you're alone, it's hard too. I understand all of that. Bringing ourselves back to the present moment, today, here, now, that is what is going to keep us sane and healthy. And taking this time to learn you, to sit down with the emotions that are coming up, to question what's happening for you. Like, does this really resonate with me? Do I really believe that the answer to heal any disease, whether it's a cold, a virus, whatever, is to be indoor in a small space with no vitamin D, with no interaction in nature? Okay, if you believe that, why? When have this been correct? Anciently, my grandma would tell me, oh, you're sick, you have a cold, you need ocean, go to the ocean, go swim. In most of the families of people that I know, when there's a cold, when there's a congestion, when there's a virus, take them to the ocean. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to rebuild inside my clients, is to rescue your own self, to rescue those instincts, that's inner knowing of what's right or wrong. And again, this is not whether you respect the rules in your country. Of course you have to. Of course you have to. I know that we have to respect and honor the rules. That doesn't mean that we're going to stop our minds and we're going to, buy into the belief of fear that we're going to die, that we need to take this medication or this vaccine and this is a solution. No. So in honoring the boundaries and the rules that are in place, do your homework, do the work that is going to connect you with your feelings, with your emotions, with that instinct within that has been injured by the way that we have been brought up. Our families, our parents, again, not talking bad about anyone here. Our parents obviously do the best they can, just like me, I'm doing the best I can with my daughters, and I am sure I'm making mistakes. I already know them. They tell me. So as parents, as they were doing the best they could, the way that they brought us up, the way that they were disciplining us was disempowering. And it just robbed us from our ability to trust our instincts, to know and make the decisions that were the best for us. Instead, we're looking outside for answers. And this is the main problem in humanity. This is the main problem of each one of my clients when they start working with me. And as I am also when I started this journey, it was always questioning, and believing someone outside of myself, not only a doctor, but anyone else, a nutritionist, anybody that would tell me this is the way that you're supposed to eat. And then when you start questioning and you start healing your body from different ailments, because I was not always holistic, I was conventional. So you can tell maybe today I'm an ex-conventional, but I was in the mainstream narrative. I was going to doctors left and right. I was completely trusting the system until it didn't work for me. And I start questioning and I start healing and eating foods that are whole, from local farmers markets, and if I cannot find that, trying to buy as organic, as natural as possible, trying to stay away from all the boxed ingredients. And as we do that, we start healing our instincts. We start healing the emotions, disinflaming the body. And when that happens, there's a certain level of awareness that comes. And it's like a natural evolution through it. And that's from the place that we can start questioning what's happening, who's telling us what, instead of the blindness, unawareness that puts us in fear. Of course, it's very easy if you hear one of the theories to also go into fear. Oh my gosh, they're going to do this to me, they're going to control me. Wait a second, bring yourself back to the present, bring yourself back to you. How can you be today stronger? How can you really heal yourself, feed yourself the right way, think the correct thoughts, heal emotional trauma, and allow yourself and your body to feel those emotions and go through them, not suppressing, not ignoring. No, bring yourself to the present. Wow, I am afraid, I am scared. Feel the scare. How does it feel? Does it feel like you want to punch a pillow? Does it feel like you want to cry? Create a playlist for moments of stress and cry and feel it out. Create a playlist for dancing. Create a playlist for crying and for happy. The only way to be free of what's happening is to work on ourselves, to flow through our emotions, and to be able to heal our instincts, to heal our innate ability to know what's right from what's wrong. We are all part of the divine. The divine in me is inside of you, and it's inside of each one of you around you. I don't need the government, and I don't need everyone around me to tell me what's wrong and what's right and you cannot do this. I know what I can do or not, because I am self-governed, because I'm self-sovereign. I have done my work, and this is what I want to invite you to do. Do your work so you're not running around like a chicken without a head, instinct injured, not knowing where the information is coming from, believing everything that you say. If somebody tells you that the sky is falling, yes, it's falling. No, it's not like that. And now it's an example. This pandemic and this reality that we're all living It's an example of how we react when we have been disempowered for years, for generations. Take that power back and be rooted in the belief that there's nobody that knows you better than you. That's why my clients are so successful in this transformation, because once you know, wow, if I eat this and I eat that and I heal and I get sick, wow, it's that simple. Yes, we are all bio-individual. Every organ, even though we all have the same kidney and the same liver as an organ, they're completely different. Our intestines are different, even in length vary. Because some people do great being vegans and eating vegetables, some other people do great having animal protein and fats and healthy fats. That is the fine-tuning of finding out how to eat. You cannot go to a nutritionist and follow, oh, this is what I need to eat. No, that's like, oh, this life, a cookie cutter life. That's how I call it. This life is exactly the same for me, and what makes me happy, it's gonna make happy you and the other person. It doesn't work like that. Some foods are not good for me, but they may be amazing for you. I, for once, cannot have celery. Celery, I know. It makes me crazy. It makes me feel super bad. It creates inflammation in my body. I have a food intolerance forever, since 12 years ago. Does that mean that I'm gonna tell everyone not to eat celery? No. And the same goes with dairy. For me, dairy is not good. And for most people that have gut issues or they have some autoimmune diseases, it's not good. But sometimes when you are in a better place, you can incorporate in your diet raw dairy. That's just an example. So if we start from the basis of our physical body and how we can empower ourselves to know what is right for me, fine-tune my diet. Every time I eat, the next hour, I should feel focused, energized, happy, no bloating, no gases. That's how I know that what I'm eating is right. Who can tell me this? A doctor outside of me? A mainstream media, newscaster can tell me that? Nobody can tell us this. So that's why it's important. During this time, we have time now. We're all at home. Mainly, yes, we can go exercise, but right now it's the time to really dig deep and ask yourself, do I want to be fear-controlled, or do I want to be self-sovereign? Do I want to be the own author of my life and understand me? How is possible? Our fingerprints are unique. There's not one fingerprint that is exactly as the next. That applies to our whole system, our whole bodies. I cannot tell you, not doctor can tell us who you are and what's best for you in any possible way. There's guidance, there's situations, there's conditions. Oh yeah, this seems like you have such and such, and there's a test that can be done. But the solution and how your body reacts to different things, it's unique. So the only possible way to conquer you is to be in contact with your own self, is to learn the self, is to do the work. And I invite you to do that. It's a beautiful process. Yes, it's work, it's beautiful, but the more you work on yourself, the more you open your heart, the more you can enjoy, the more you tap into the presence. And this is the life that we're living.